her experience using the BCH. For you who don't know Angela yet, she's the head of the Biosafety Unit at the Ministry of Environment of Moldova. She's also the national focal point for the Cartagena Protocol on Biosafety in Moldova. She's quite active on a number of issues, including risk assessment, socioeconomic considerations, and the Compliance Committee. So Angela, thanks for joining us here today. Let us please start with the first question, and it's, how does your country use the data on the BCH? Can you please give a few examples?
Hello.
Angela, the floor is yours.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Please, Angela, go ahead. We can hear you fine and clear.
Yes. Thank you, Manuela. Hello, Manuela, and hello, everyone. I would like to thank Vanessa for the excellent presentation on the global BCH and also national BCH from Spain. And in continuation of this topic, I would like to bring some examples of Moldova's participation and also Moldova's use of the data on Biosafety Clearinghouse under the CBD. For the first, Moldova find very important and useful and practical the BCH, global BCH. We can register national records, and specifically we uploaded 26 national records that are mandatory under the Cartagena Protocol, Article 20, and refers to the national competent authorities, focal points, national experts, law and regulation, decisions, capacity building, and also risk assessment and national biosafety reports. I would like to mention that this year Moldova has issued 3 decisions on soybean intended for feed, food and processing, and issued by the National Competent Authority, Ministry of Environment. As specifically, we also uploaded information about national organizations that are referred to biosafety as, for example, National Faculty, Agronomic Faculty of the Agricultural University of Moldova, Moldavian State University Faculty of Biology, Institute of Genetics and Plant Physiology, and also a very active international environmental association, non-governmental organization, that is EcoTIRAS. We also registered some latest news as related to national BCH trainings in Moldova, and also the regional course that has been hosted by Moldovan authority in collaboration with GENOC Norway. And also we submitted that national report and risk assessment on soybean. I would mention that Moldova has benefited from the data published in the BCH, and especially national official records are very useful in decision-making process. As I mentioned that during this year, National Biosafety Committee and National Competent Authority and also academia has discussed the possibility to import 3 lines of soybean, genetically modified soybean, and these national official records have been consulted, especially risk assessment and decisions in the EU country, in the CE regional country, as well as, and it was a very helpful source of information to provide informative and correct decision in this field. I would also mention that Moldova now is elaborating a new law on GM that have to be harmonized with the EU Directive 18/2001 on deliberative release into environment under the EU Moldova Association Agreement Plan. And in this point, the BCH is very much useful, that we we can consult national regulations and regional regulation of the EU regulation and the number of countries regulation and guidelines that can be used as a model and also very useful for developing national regulation. Detection and identification. Under the organization's rubric of the BCH, we can find relevant laboratories and also detection methods that are used to detect living modified organisms, and we use this information especially when we wish to collaborate with some accredited laboratories for detection and identification. And for example, we can send samples of corn and soybean to Vilnius, Lithuania, accredited laboratory that we can obtain very veridic and correct information about presence or absence of GM on the territory of the Republic of Moldova. We also use very successful the roster of experts. That is a useful tool. We can find relevant professionals and resource people to invite them to the international consultancy and advise during the capacity building activities on biosafety in Moldova. I would mention that we have invited 4 international experts, and it was very helpful for Moldovan activities. Biosafety virtual library is very useful and visited very often to find relevant publication, reference materials, peer reviews for national regulators, academia, students, and others. I would also like to mention the very useful tool as provided by BCH. This is training materials and modules that are used in the capacity building activities for national stakeholders and public. And for example, we organized a number of domestic events and use these training materials to make familiar our local people and stakeholders how to use this BCH information and how to post relevant national records to the BCH. The same during the regional biosafety course on integrated risk assessment of LMOs in Chisinau, organized with the support of GENOC Norway in 2014. Participants used a real risk assessment dossier posted by BCH Netherlands for potato, and this document was tested under the roadmap of risk assessment elaborated by Architecta under the Cartagena Protocol on biosafety. That means that we can find and we can use the real documents that can be tested for regional, national, regional, and also at the international level. The BCH training materials and models also used during the university education course in Moldova. I would like to say that in the Moldovan State University, a biosafety course is teaching for master degree students, and the training manual modules on the introduction of the Cartagena Protocol, the risk assessment module, and the training module how to use BCH are very useful and also important. BCH, yes?
We are just running a little bit short of time. If you could give me the last couple of minutes of our time allocated for this, if you could talk give very briefly a couple of insights or very practical tips on how you have effectively used the data in the BCH. You already mentioned a few things, but something that you find particularly important or a tip, like a practical tip on how to find information in the BCH. Thank you.
For the first, I would mention that BCH is a very innovative method of stacking important national, regional, and international database and information. This is a source of official national information. That is an advantage, and we can relay for the information that we can find on the BCH. BCH resources are free, available for different stakeholders and large public, and also are available in the 6 UN languages. That is again a great advantage. There is plenty of comprehensive scientific reference and information accessible for all kind of BCH uses, and also in my understanding, the training tools and modules are very much helpful and useful to organize various events at national levels. Also, as Vanessa mentioned, there are 2 levels, BCH Global and BCH National system that are interrelated between them, and also could provide a platform for interrelation between countries and at a regional level and of different kind of topics. That's probably main tips that I can mention.
Thank you, Angela. It was excellent. Very thorough. I appreciate that. With that, I would like to invite the participants, if they have any questions, to either Angela or Vanessa to type the questions in the chat box. Again, if it's not answered here, it will be answered in the report of the webinar. And with that, let us please move on with our agenda.